What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, and we jumping right in it, man. This must be that Thanksgiving thing, no intro, but you know what it is. Ooh, wait, Michael Parsons was doing this thing, 10 pressures. I think it was a Thanksgiving high, whatever you want to call it, that in out. Oh, I wish you would have had him right here because he missed him, and boy, that's where Deshaun Jackson. I can't lie to you. I can't stand Deshaun Jackson. I just can't stand him. But I thought Michael had him right here, and that was just a nice little dime by Derek Carr, a little bad play by KZ on the bad angle, but it is what it is. Touchdown, Deshaun Jackson. He gets on my nerves. But my guy right here, who I've been telling y'all about, Tristan Hill, man, I told you he was going to get the Cowboys some quality minutes, and I felt like he did today. Well, on Thanksgiving he did. You saw a couple of those tackles right there. He was very active, going hard a lot of the plays. The biggest thing right here was those penalties. I don't want to harp on those, but it affected the game. It really did. When you really watch these plays, they really didn't run the ball on the Cowboys. Not Brandon Jacobs, but Josh Jacobs. He really didn't do anything with the Cowboys. As you see these pass by Derek Carr, he had 22 carries for like 87 yards, but he had a 21-yard run. That's where they kind of hurt the Cowboys on those crossing routes. But they really didn't hurt the Cowboys in the running game. Man, I wish Micah would have had him. He's so daggone good, dog. I just love watching him. I got to talk about other people. I'll talk about him the whole daggone tape. But as I said, Josh Jacobs had 87 yards on 22 carries, a long of 21. I thought that was a bogus call right here. Of all the penalties they called on Anthony Brown, that pass interference right here, this was a great position. He was jockeying for it. He was looking for the ball. They were both fighting for it. That was a bad call. This one, I thought Micah had him on the sack. Daggone it, that probably would have been 2 or 3 sacks. There you probably had 12. But besides him, there wasn't nobody else. But I know I'm kind of jumping everywhere. But the biggest thing, like I said, to me was they didn't run. Josh Jacobs had 21 carries for like 66 yards without that long run. So he's only averaging like 3 yards a carry. So they didn't run the ball on him. I think the biggest thing you can see right here when you're watching this, watching that play right there, was Derek Carr had time in the pocket. He had a lot of time in the pocket. He felt comfortable in the pocket. And that was the push off by Zay Jones. They didn't call it on him. But besides Michael, I just felt that Cowboys gave them a lot of time in the pocket. Derek Carr felt comfortable in the pocket. Besides Michael Parsons, I know Basham had the sack. You'll see that, I believe, in the second half. But besides Michael Parsons, it really was just Michael Parsons getting the pressure. And I think when you watch this team right now, you see that pin on Osa is that they're missing the DeMarcus Lawrence. They're missing the Randy Gregory. You see that sack by Basham. Basham was okay, but he's not those guys. And I think now they're using the backups who would not be usually playing these many minutes. Those guys would not be playing this many minutes usually. So now they're playing the extended minutes. Who are their backups? When they get tired and when they get run down, who are their backups? And I think that has been the problem. The Cowboys have lasted this long, have playing out of their mind extraordinarily, being +5, +6, +7 during the year on turnovers, and that's what's really helped them. But they're not a big, heavy type defense. They really predicate on speed and getting to the ball quickly and being tackling effective. Right here now, they don't have their big guys in there as far as your Gallimore, your Lawrence, your Gregory, guys that can really get after the passer. So you're having to use the Justin Hamiltons, the Carlos Watkins. Those guys are good, but they're not good in the starting roles all the time. That's where you miss the Brent Urbans. You see this play right here, Hunter Renfrow, he had over 100 yards, but that's where you miss a Brent Urban right now and the Gallimore and those other guys, because they're going to be more effective in rushing the passer. And then you can probably put Michael Parsons back in his linebacker spot, because as you see, Keanu Neal and LVE, they are okay at the linebacker position. Michael Parsons is extraordinary. He can move back in that position when you get those guys back. And I think that's what's been the key, is that Derek Carr had time. I don't know what happened right here between KZ and LVE, but Derek Carr felt comfortable in the pocket because you just didn't have that pass rush beside of Michael Parsons. And I think that's where the Cowboys have been suffering in these last few games against the Chiefs, against the Broncos. And they've lost their way a little bit because those injuries have caught up with them. Really, that's been my thing. The injuries have just caught up with them. They played out of their mind, but the injuries have caught up with them, and this is what happens. So, not making any excuses on this Raider game, but they didn't really run the ball. Micah Parsons right here, getting after the quarterback. 14 penalties in the game. They only completed 3 of 13. They had 5 of those third down penalties. So there were 8 third down conversions. 3 were naturally. 5 were due to penalties. Those penalties were killers. They were 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11. Those were backbreakers to the Cowboys defense. That messes with your mind when you're stopping their opponent and then you keep on seeing these penalty flags. It messes with your mind after a certain period of time. And once again, I'm not making no excuses for this game, but this was just a wonky game. And I feel like the Cowboys are going to bounce back from this. They're going to get better because you're going to have guys that can be able to be in the position to make plays. As you can see right here, they're just using guys that I feel like are going to be more the backer roles that wouldn't been playing this much before. Curse has been playing out of his mind. Good tackle right here. Neal has been playing as good. I thought I've been critical kind of him, but I thought he played a little better in this game. But the linebackers have played regular. You can see right here. Still has time in the pocket to make these plays, and Carr played really smart. He knew what the refs were giving him. I wish kind of Dak would have did the same thing, but he knew what the refs were doing, so he kind of played to the refs. He played smartly. So it wasn't about the Raiders playing greatly, as they played smartly. Derek Carr played smartly. Dallas didn't really generate a big pass rush. That's why they probably had to send more guys and play more man-to-man, because they were not getting an effective pass rush on Derek Carr besides Micah Parsons. As I said before, the safety loses their way right here. This was he went straight down the seam on here. But as you can see, not a lot of running by the Raiders, just penalties on 3rd down. Backups are playing more snaps. You see this play by Michael Parsons. That's what it really is. Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Golston's a rookie. Dorrance Armstrong Jr., he's okay, but he's not those guys. So I think it's going to be a welcome addition that when these guys come back, it'll be better for the Cowboys in the end. Y'all keep watching this as I'm talking because you'll see it'll kind of make sense to you while you're watching this when you get these other guys back in the meat of this schedule, because Cowboys are 7-4, right? 3 of these 4 losses, AFC teams. You can see them right here. I don't feel like the Raiders or this extraordinary team better than the Cowboys. Broncos neither. They just played smart. I think the Cowboys just underestimated the Broncos, and the Cowboys played very good defensively against the Chiefs, but the offense didn't play. But you're getting Amari Cooper back. You're getting CeeDee Lamb back. You're eventually getting a Blake Jarwin back. And then on your defensive side, you're getting Gallimore back. You're getting Lawrence back. You're getting Gregory back. You're getting these guys back that are difference makers on the team. And it'll put these other guys that are backups back up in the backup role. And it'll make them more effective. The Osa Ogadazua, who've been playing out of his mind, but now it kind of made it wore down because the teams are double teaming. As you see a lot in this game, they're double teaming him. You wear it down. Now he's maybe not as effective. You get those other guys back in, let him get less snaps, he's more effective, and he's a rookie. So I think that's the biggest thing that we can take from this is that 6 games left in the NFC, and they're all NFC games. 3 of the next 4 games are NFC East games. Washington for 2 of them, Giants on 1 of them. You can take a stranglehold on that NFC East, really take over the division, really get a good seeding, as I told you about that Justin Hamilton move right here. Really get a good seeding in the NFC and be right back in the thick of things. And you're getting healthy when it matters the most. So you hate that you lost this game, but when you look at this game, get him, Micah. Get him. This was this sack. He's a difference maker, dog. He's just a difference maker. When you just know he's going to make a play. That's why he's LT-ish. But Cowboys are going to be okay. They're going to bounce back from this. You see that pass. They're going to bounce back from this. They're 7-4. I think this defense has played admirably without their other stars. When they get those other guys back, I think this is the stretch run. This is where they prove this team is different. This defense is different. So show us what you're made of, Cowboys. This is the stretch run. This is where you can really show what contender or pretender? Show us now. Big Game James. I'm out.